9 runners lined up. Thereof, last two out, Crypto Force and Continuous, ridden away from the stalls in this quality renewal of the Group 1 Tattersalls Gold Cup over the extended 10 furlongs. And it is Kalpana, the filly, on the inside of Deep One. Right with them is Los Angeles and Ghost Rider. Royal Rhyme next. Coming up through the field is Continuous, and then comes the grey White Birch, Anmaat, and at the back of the field is Crypto Force. Heading inside the final mile, and it is out wide, Deep One with Continuous, who's made rapid headway up from last, having missed the break. As they climb inside the 7 furlong point, they're followed by Los Angeles and Royal Rhyme. Shuffled back in a fifth is Kalpana, and then Ghost Rider. White Birch is two behind, Anmaat and Crypto Force. It's Continuous and Wayne Lorden leading now by a length with 6 furlongs to go. Deep One and Billy Lee in second, a break of 2.5 to Los Angeles, and Ryan Moore just third on the inside. From as they climb up towards the halfway stage, Royal Rhyme and Clifford Lee. Disputing the fifth are Ghost Rider, Russell Ryan, and Kalpana, Sheen Murphy, and then Anmaat, Jim Crowley on the outside of last year's starting winner White Birch and Colin Keane, and ridden along as Crypto Force and David Egan. Coming down for the home straight, Continuous, vigorously driven on the inside, joined on the turn by Deep One, 3 clear of Los Angeles, nudged after them in third, then Royal Rhyme, Kalpana, Ghost Rider, White Birch, Anmaat brought to the outside, and then Crypto Force. As they tighten, coming down towards the final 2 furlongs, Deep One reeled in by Los Angeles. Anmaat makes ground on the outside of Royal Rhyme. On their heels, Kalpana, and then comes White Birch and Ghost Rider. Los Angeles leads, challenging as Anmaat on the outside. Anmaat gets to Los Angeles in the Tattersalls Gold Cup. The stride for stride, Los Angeles! Los Angeles! By a nick in the Tattersalls Gold Cup from Anmaat, Kalpana, White Birch, and Royal Rhyme next.
Well, it is Los Angeles who has triumphed in the Group 1 Tattersalls Gold Cup. It was a fascinating race to watch, and there's some hard luck stories in behind, but that's to take nothing away from Los Angeles, the 9-4 favourite, who looked as though he was going to be beaten by Anmaat, to be honest, when that one came to challenge him. But Los Angeles has dug in, Don, and we've seen this from him on countless occasions in the past. But the one who really, I think, connections are going to feel a bit hard done by with is White Birch, who didn't get the breaks up the home straight. Full marks to this winner, though.
Yeah, there's so much going on in the race, Gary, but Los Angeles, he's dug so deep. He's a big, strong horse who gets further than this 10 furlong trip as well. And he's really dug deep. He wasn't travelling best on the run to the furlong marker, but he found lots of pressure, as you knew he would, for Ryan Moore. And Anmaat looked to be travelling better than him inside the final furlong. But Los Angeles, he's dug deep again and wrested victory from the jaws of defeat, and he's going on again close home. He's just such a likeable top-class horse, and he's got another Group 1 win on the board.
Early stages didn't go quite how we would have expected, because Continuous, who clearly was in there to make the running, missed the break completely and had to do a lot of running to get to the head of affairs. And once he did, he wasn't able to last that long either. Deep One took his measure early in the straight, but here we go. And Kalpana gets into a bit of scrimmaging, Dom, with Ghost Rider there. It all gets very tight. Anmaat breezes into it down the outside. Looks like he's going to win. And White Birch, by the time he gets rolling, I'm afraid it's too late.
Yeah, White Birch, he was back in the field along the inside. He had to chart his way through. He's kind of got a little bit chopped there himself, and Kalpana kind of went for the same gap and a half. And the two of them are closing on the 2 leaders on the run to the line. The head-on will be revealing as well. Kalpana's travelling well there. White Birch just to her left as we're looking at her right hand side as she's racing, and there's not much room there. Los Angeles moves a bit to his right. Anmaat comes down the outside and clear sailing. He got the run of the race from back in the field. He came widest of all. He had to give away a little bit of ground, but he had clear sailing, and that enabled him to deliver what looked like it would be a race-winning move before Los Angeles fought back. But White Birch and Kalpana, they've both stayed on well towards the far side, and I suppose, yeah, of those two, White Birch is probably the one who's just a little bit, he just didn't have much luck in running.
Just found himself behind the wrong 2 horses, didn't he? Continuous was dropping back, obviously, and Deep One couldn't find any more, and Ryan Moore, when he got to the front in Los Angeles, quickly made his way over to the rails. Exactly. So that was never going to work. And day to forget for White Birch's connections, 2024, it all went so well for him. There'll be other days, though, hopefully, this time around if he stays in one piece, but it's Los Angeles' day. And we were talking before the race, Don, about how big a year it could be for him. This could be the launch pad for more Group 1 success, but just keep an eye on White Birch and Kalpana here as they come to this final quarter of a mile.
This will be a good shot. Like Kalpana, she's travelling well there. White Birch gets a gap as Continuous fades out of it. He's got a gap through into the just in behind, but then Deep One is dropping back into his lap. Colin Keane has to go outside him. Ghost Rider has no more left to give. He's gone between those two. Then the only gap is down towards the rail. He's gone down on the inside of Royal Rhyme towards the inside of Kalpana. He's finishing off his race well. He keeps on progressing, but in the end he's just run out of time, run out of room, and yeah, just can't get to the 2 leaders.
I'm sure we're going to see several more battles between the principals today in the future. Let's hope so. But today, very much Los Angeles' day. Another big, big win here at the Curragh for this Camelot Colt.
And that is another win in the race for Aidan O'Brien, who's won it with, well, all sorts of different horses in the past. And LA, Los Angeles himself, 9-4 favourite, has battled and fended off the challenge of the very strong travelling Anmaat. The pair were identical through the last couple of furlongs as regards the seconds it took to get through them. And Los Angeles, with his race position, his trap positioning, battling to go and beat Anmaat, who travelled into the race like a good thing and traded as short as 1.08 in the run. I think they'll be pleased with the run of Kalpana, but we wanted a big race performance. We wanted a bit of an epic contest. I think we got it, didn't we?
Oh, absolutely. It was set on paper for a really big, mouth-watering race, and it didn't let us down, did it?
No, it didn't. Let's have a look at the starts, where it certainly didn't go to plan for Continuous, and whatever the race plan would have been and how it was going to be, you can see from the word go, he missed it. He got to the front, took a little longer though.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the plan was, but it certainly wasn't that. And you see Wayne Lorden switches Continuous out and he chases him forward, and it takes him a long time to get to the front. And they're all just sorting themselves out, aren't they? You see Kalpana in the Judgment colours, she's broke well, and Ocean's right on the front end, but it's her first run for a while. He's decided to just drop back and sit in a 4th, 5th handy position without being prominent. And you see Continuous, he eventually gets to the rail, and Deep Owen was probably running a little bit free towards the front, and then everyone just starts to settle down and find their position, and the eventual winner in the perfect position, as Ryan Moore usually is, and all the main protagonists are all happy at this point, but nobody wants to be on that rail in behind Continuous, because all the jockeys realise when they turn in he's going to be dropping back, given how much ground he had to make up and get to the front. So you'll watch in a minute when the angle changes. O'Sheen in particular, he doesn't want to close the gap and end up stuck behind Continuous. So they're all kind of thinking the race through in their minds at this point, and it really starts to unfold once they turn in.
It looks to me, when you look at the fastest furlongs clocked up by these horses, Los Angeles was at the mile. Thereafter, for Anmaat, it was at the mile and a quarter point, getting towards the end of the race. Kalpana, at the 9 furlong marker, it was... Ryan Moore had, as you say, not for the first time, and it doubtless won't be for the last time, maybe not even for the afternoon, had his horse in exactly the right place. Ally that to the race fitness, the bit of know-how as well. He's made it 3 from 3 at the track. He's a very straightforward, high-class racehorse.
Absolutely. He's just top level, and he's got better, and he just does not want to be beat. Your eye is drawn to the Shadwell colours. Look at Jim Crowley on Anmaat, absolutely cruising. He's ridden a perfect race. Yeah. He's come here and almost headed the winner. But
I think he has.
He's headed them, yeah. And Los Angeles has fought back. He has got that race under his belt, so he will be a little bit fitter. But Owen Burrows and Connections will be delighted, and I'm sure the Judmont team will be delighted with Kalpana. You see here, look at the gap between O'Shea and the horses in front. He's come off that rail. He doesn't want to get stopped in his run. But White Birch, you see the grey horse on the inside? Colin has no option but to go forward on the rail, and he gets a little bit shorter room here. But White Birch, he just doesn't possess the tools to quicken well enough on fast ground. The gaps are going quicker than him. He might have been slightly unlucky, but what a race we were treated to.
7-2 from 9-2 in, what, 24 days' time for the Prince of Wales of Coral. He did get to the lead. You can see he travelled, what, 4 or 5 horse widths wider on Anmaat than Ryan Moore did on Los Angeles, keeping straight and true. 7-2. There might be sort of, I don't know, look, and this is not to damn him with faint praise at all, there might be sort of classier, sexier types out there, but for that bit of brilliance allied to the reliability, the straightforward nature, the fact that he is just about wherever you put him in a race, fairly straightforward. He's hard to knock off anyone's shortlist, isn't he?
He's just solid. He's a top-level performer, a multiple Group 1 winner, doesn't let you down. His only poor run, and it wasn't a poor run, was in the Champion Stakes, but he'd ran in the Arc and given his all on that day, and he just ran a little bit below par, but what a horse he is.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.